Breakups can be brutal. One moment, you're planning your future together, and the next, you're picking up the pieces. But here's the thing. While you're sitting there, questioning everything, wondering if you weren't good enough, you might not realize that you actually were. And sometimes it's not until you're gone that people see your real value. So, what can you do to make sure she regrets losing you? Let's talk about that. Number 1, embrace the no contact rule. This might sound counterintuitive, but the first step is to stop reaching out completely. I'm talking about everything: texts, calls, social media comments. Just hit the brakes. I know, it feels unnatural, maybe even cold, especially when your emotions are screaming at you to check in, to say something, to stay connected. But here's the thing. Nothing screams, "I've got my life together," like complete, confident silence. When you're constantly reaching out, even with the smallest gestures, a like on her post or a casual, "How are you?" You're sending a message you might not even realize. It's saying, "I'm still here waiting, holding on." And that, my friend, is the exact opposite of what you want to communicate. Because when you stop, when you go radio silent, that's when the tables start to turn. Now, let's address the nagging fear that usually creeps in at this point. What if she forgets about me? Trust me, she won't. Humans are naturally curious creatures. When someone who was once a constant presence in their life suddenly goes quiet, it doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, it does the opposite. It makes them think about you even more. Silence creates curiosity, and curiosity is a powerful thing. It's the beginning of reflection, and reflection often leads to regret. But let's not just make this about her. Every time you send that text or make that call, you're pouring your energy into someone who's no longer in your life. When you step back, however, you're giving yourself space. At first, it feels weird and empty even, but soon you realize how much better it feels to have room to breathe. And in that silence, you'll find something else called clarity. Without the constant back and forth, the replaying of conversations, or the obsessive checking of her Instagram stories, you can finally think clearly. As for all that energy, you can redirect it toward things that bring you joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Which brings me to our next point. Number 2, invest in self-improvement. Yep, while she's sitting there, possibly scrolling through her phone, wondering why you've gone silent, you're out in the world, quietly and steadily transforming into someone better, stronger, and happier. Now, don't get overwhelmed by the idea of a total transformation. This isn't one of those movie montages where someone suddenly becomes a superhero overnight. Real self-improvement is a process, and it starts small. Maybe today, you decide to hit the gym, not to show off a six-pack in a month, but because you want to feel stronger and healthier. But physical fitness isn't the only path. Maybe your transformation lies in picking up a new skill. It could be anything you've been curious about: cooking, public speaking, or even learning a new language. Remember that thing you always said you'd try but never got around to? Now's the perfect time. People are naturally drawn to growth. When she sees you thriving, it'll hit her. She'll realize you're not just surviving the breakup, you're thriving because of it. And that's the kind of realization that stings. And self-improvement isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. But remember this: every small step you take is a reminder to yourself and to her that you're moving forward. And forward is the only direction worth going. Here's a tip: keep your progress low-key. You're not doing this to show off or rub it in her face. You're doing it because it's the right thing for you. And when you're genuinely improving yourself, people can tell. It's that authenticity that makes all the difference. Now on to the last step to seal the deal. Can you guess it? Number 3, expand your social circle. Breakups often leave us feeling isolated, but this is your chance to turn that around. Get out there, meet new people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to morph into the person who's at every party, cracking jokes and basking in the spotlight. That's not the point. What I'm suggesting is much deeper. Surround yourself with people who genuinely add value to your life. This sends a strong, silent message, not just to the world, but to yourself. It shows that you're moving on, that you're capable of making new memories and building a fulfilling life that no longer revolves around her. And make no mistake, when she sees you out there, connecting with others, laughing, enjoying life, it's going to hit her hard. Not out of jealousy, but because she'll realize that you've become someone even more dynamic and self-assured than before. Someone she might never find again. Whether it's a new group of friends, coworkers, or even joining a community group, these connections remind you that life goes on and that it can actually get better. And let's not forget the added bonus. New social connections often bring new opportunities. Maybe it's a networking event that lands you a great job or a lucky meeting that turns into a lifelong friendship. The point is, the more people you meet, the more your world opens up. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button and subscribe for more practical advice. Got your own tips or experiences? Share them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep moving forward.